For my first DIY, we're gonna make a little mini pool for the Calico Critter, which is so cute. I saw this girl on TikTok do this. First, you're gonna need to cut out a piece of paper to the size of the pool you want, and then you're gonna trace it out onto some craft foam sheets. And you wanna make sure it's long enough so you can wrap it around into a pool shape. And then you're gonna glue them together like I did here. You're gonna hot glue the edges so you can fold it, and you should do blue on the inside to represent the pool. And then on the outside, you can do whatever color you want. I did pink like the girl on TikTok did. And then you're gonna glue hot glue sticks together to make the outside look like it's kind of like a blow up little pool. I would recommend trying to find long glue sticks. I had short ones, so I had to like glue them together and it was hard, but you're gonna want to glue those onto your little pool. And here I'm drawing out a little pool water reflection for the bottom of the pool. You can print out an image, but it was just easier for me to draw my own. And then I'm gonna cut it out to the right size and use my hot glue gun to glue it onto the bottom. And for more of the reflection, you're gonna want to add a little piece of plastic. This is from a container that I just cut up, and you're gonna put it on the top. And before you glue it onto the top, you should cut out a little hole for your Calico Critter. I did mine afterwards, and it was kind of difficult because I had to like stab it so that I could get the little hole. And this is a step you don't have to do, but if you really want it to look like water, you can put more hot glue on top in little squiggly circles, which helps the reflection at the bottom, and it makes it really look like a little pool. This did kind of, the hot glue, the hotness of it kind of interfered with the plastic, but overall it's really cute and your Calico Critters are gonna love it. The next DIY is a little button book, which is just a pull-out little book of some Calico Critters, which is so cute. For this, you're gonna need some sort of printer to print out little images of Calico Critters. I got this print from Pinterest, and I'm using an Instax mini little printer, which the printer pages itself is a sticker, which makes it really easy to put it onto the little book, but you can use any printer. And here I'm just cutting them out to the right size. And then you're gonna take a button and you're gonna make sure you have two of them that are the same size so it can be the front and the back of a book. And I'm tracing them out. I would recommend just tracing one out and then drawing a rectangle for the rest of it. I tried to draw multiple of them, it just didn't work that well. But then you're gonna cut it out, and with the little circles, you're gonna fold it back and forth so that you can open it up like an accordion style. And here you're gonna cut out the little circles. See, if you only drew one circle, then you could just easily cut out the whole thing to be that circle, which I'm doing here. And then the idea is that it's gonna be able to pull out like an accordion. And for this, on one side, you're gonna put a bunch of your Calico Critter printouts on there. And then you're gonna take your hot glue gun and you're gonna glue one of the ends to a button and then glue the other end to another button. So this is like the cover of the book and it makes it really pretty. And this can just be used as a cute little trinket item you have, or you can use it for your Calico Critters. It just depends on the size you make. And then you're done. This next DIY is a mini tin room for your Calico Critter. You've probably seen this done before, but I just think it's so fun and adorable. You can make it a critter room tin like I did here, or you can make it just a little tin to put your Calico Critters in it, or I saw someone do a closet. But here I'm tracing out my tin and then I'm cutting out the pieces of paper that I want from the background and for the floor. And for your decoration, it's basically up to you on whatever you do. You can make decor, or you can go to like Hobby Lobby and Michael's and buy little mini already made decor pieces. Here I'm making a little frame, and I ended up using this as a little window. So I'm just taking these little pegs I had and I'm hot gluing them together. And then I took some fabric I had and I made little curtains. And then I'm just taking some string to tie it up to make the curtains look like they're tied. And this I'm just gonna glue onto the back of my little tin. And I'm putting a little piece of blue paper in there to kind of make it look like it's looking out into the night sky. I would recommend actually drawing or printing out a photo of some sort of scenery because it's just kind of, it was okay, but that's what I did. And then for the rest of the background, I just took some buttons and beads I had and I just glued them on there. You can use buttons and beads, or you can use stickers or little drawings or whatever little trinkets you have. And then for the main room of the Calico Critter tin, to make the bed, I took a sponge and I just folded some fabric over it and then hot glued it down. And then for the pillow, I just folded it over a little piece of stuffing. And then I cut out a piece of fabric just to make it as a little blanket. And for the rest of the room, I took a little cube I had and I put string around it. I hot glued string on it to make it a little chair. And then here I'm making a little lamp. So I cut out a piece of paper and I'm folding it together. And then I'm taking some beads that I'm gonna glue on top of each other, which will be the lamp stand, and then gluing it to the lamp shade. And then to fill in the rest of the space, I randomly had this really cute teacup charm, and so I added that to the floor. You just add whatever little trinkets you want, and then you add your Calico Critter, and you're done. Next, we're making a felt pouch, which is something I've been wanting to make for my Calico Critters for forever now. Here, the fruit I'm basing it off is a fig, which I love figs, they're so pretty. And I cut out some pieces of paper to the size that I wanted the different layers to be, and then I'm tracing them out, which I'm then gonna cut them out. And for this, you're gonna sew the pieces together. And I was really intimidated with this since I don't know how to sew at all. But here, I don't know what this stitch is. I honestly just made it up as I was going, but I was stitching the two pieces together, and it's way easier than I thought it would be. And then I'm repeating that step again for the other side. And then you're gonna need another piece that's the same size as your front piece, so you can make a little actual pouch in it. And here, I know what this stitch is called a blanket stitch, which I just watched a TikTok tutorial, and it's pretty simple and it looks really cool. And before the stitch, you should add a little hole in the center for where your Calico Critter is gonna stick out. And then to make it even more pretty and like a fig, I decided to string some beads on there to kind of make it look like the little seeds in the middle of a fig. This again, I don't know what kind of stitch this is. I kind of just put the needle through and then I put a bead in and then I put it back through and then I continue to do that. And then in the back, you're gonna cut out a little hole so that you can insert your Calico Critter into it. And once your Calico Critter is there, you have the cutest little Calico Critter pouch. My last DIY is a little hanging trinket shelf for your Calico Critter. This, you're just gonna need popsicle sticks and a hot glue gun, and it's pretty straightforward. I traced out the popsicle stick to the size I wanted, and I'm using this weird tool that I took from my dad to just like cut off the edges of the popsicle sticks. And once I have them all to the same size, I'm gonna hot glue gun them all together. Now you have the back of your little trinket shelf, and I'm gonna cut out some popsicle sticks to the width to make the actual shelf part, and then you're gonna glue it on. You can make it really pretty and paint it and add a lot of decorations. I just took some more buttons that I had and stick them onto the back. Buttons are so good for decoration. And then I took some string and I hot glued it to the back, which is how you're gonna hang up your shelf. And then your Calico Critter can be hanging on your wall. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and I hope these DIYs give you inspirations on things to make for your Calico Critters, and I hope you actually make them and let me know how they turn out. You can check out my other content for more DIY type projects. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I love you so much. Have a beautiful day.